And we're back. For the second time in 5 years, the Whitmer Panthers made it to the Final Four in Division I high school basketball. And although this year's squad lost to Pickerington Central in the championship game, we salute the Panthers on another incredible run that included a conference, district, and regional title and a second-place finish in state. Tonight, head coach Bruce Smith and standout Nigel Hayes are in the house to talk hoops and more. You're back in the Final Four, Coach, for the second time in 5 years. What was that like?
It was a lot of fun. I mean, it's never something you can predict. It's never something you can expect. It's certainly something you strive to achieve, and you know, we have great respect for it because there's so many guys in the state that would merit getting down there but haven't, and you know, just really difficult to do. You got to win. I think we won 5 tournament games to get there in a row. It's tough to do.
Well, you hadn't lost in 2 months before the final game. It was just an incredible run. And one of the big reasons is sitting right to your right, Nigel Hayes. Nigel, talk about this year. Just talk about what it was like when you kept winning and winning, and then when you realized that, hey, this team could be special. When did you realize? Was there a point during the year where you said, man, I think we got something special here?
Well, that point happened, you know, during our wins in the Central game. I think when we really played well that game, we realized as a team that we had what it takes to get down to Columbus. And that's when we really pulled everything together, and then that's when we had a great run.
Did you talk to your teammates about it at all? I mean, or was it kind of taboo? It's kind of like when you have a no-hitter going on, you know, don't talk to the pitcher.
Oh, we always talked about it. That's been our goal since we always talking about it during football, that we wanted to win states in football and then in basketball. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do either one, but we had a great team, and we made some great runs.
Coach Smith, how hard was it to coach these guys? I mean, you've got a bunch of Division I talent. Now, you know, a lot of it was in football, and Chris Wormley going to Michigan, Leroy Alexander, Nebraska, Storm Norton coming off your bench going to Toledo. This young man's great in football and basketball. But I mean, how tough was it?
It wasn't difficult at all. I mean, they're talented young men. There's absolutely no character issues with any of them, so from that standpoint, it's real easy to do. I think the only frustrating part was we knew we were going to be good, and it was, we got to win this football game, we got to win this football game, but at the same time, where are my guys, where are my guys? And
did you get tired at all? I mean, because you were one of the guys. You went right from football right into basketball.
Well, you know, it was tiring some days, but, you know, when we kept winning as a team, and then, you know, as good as a team, we had a camaraderie and everything. We're basically like family and a bunch of brothers. It was easy to, you know, override the tiredness and everything, and we were winning, which always helps you forget about how tired you are.
Did you have to push them at all, Coach?
You'd have to ask Nigel that, but at times, yes. I mean, you know, I have a good staff, and, you know, I've been in the business long enough. I think I know when to push and when to pull back, and sometimes I'm wrong in that aspect. You know, I've made some mistakes pushing guys too hard, not pushing them hard enough, but, you know, the final result with the 24-3 record, I think we probably did things, for the most part, the right way.
Nigel, when you're making the run and when you're going on and you realize that, okay, we won the region, we're going state, and then, you know, Lakewood St. Ed is up first, and they like to, you know, press. Were you happy you got there, or did you say, okay, they did this, but we're going to take it one step further?
No, we weren't happy we got there. We knew that it was a business trip, even though it's a fun business trip. We knew that we had our goal in mind was to win states, and playing Lakewood, we had coaches prepared us very well for that game, which was evident by the score. It wasn't as it was a tougher game than what the score predicted. The score outcame, and we went out there and we played hard and we followed the game plan. But really, when we got down there, we knew that we had our goal, which we wanted to win. Unfortunately, we didn't win it, but overall, it was a good experience.
That Lakewood game, you got out to like a 22-2 start. I mean, it was just an amazing run to start the game. That can be good and bad because, as you know, you want to get out to a big lead and you want to carry on the big lead. But at a sense, do you get a sense that, okay, we've got to keep the pedal to the metal so this team can't come back?
Well, we're up 26-5, and I asked my assistant coach, and it was just real, pinch me, you know, because it's so difficult, and you watch him on film, and you prepare for him, and you think there's no way in the world we're going to be up 26-5. And then Leroy got the cut under his right eye and went out, and immediately they scored a touchdown, kicked the extra point, and instead of being up 21, we're only up 14 at half. And, you know, I think what Lakewood St. Ed felt at that time was that they could come all the way back, and I believe they got within 3 at 40-37. But, you know, we regrouped, and we just knew. I told them at halftime, it's not going to be this easy for another 16 minutes. Just keep your composure. They're too good of a team not to make a run, but we were able to withstand it.
And then the Pickerington game. We'll move on to that. Obviously, you didn't win, but it was all the way to the fourth quarter. It was nip and tuck, nip and tuck. They'd go up a couple points, you guys would come back. You guys would go up a couple points, they would come back. What's it like playing in that game, and does it almost hinge like every time you go up, are you nervous, or do you just like the adrenaline kicks in, you don't think about the nerves with everybody there and the big venue over at Ohio State? What was that like? Because I can't even imagine that, Nigel.
Well, it was really fun, actually. You know, none of us were nervous. Like Coach Smith always used to say, you're no good when you're nervous out there. We were just real excited and happy to be out there. So the adrenaline's going and everything. They make a run, and we come back. We make a run. They came back. You know, the two great teams playing the state championship, so it's never going to be a blowout. It was just a hard-fought match, and unfortunately, we didn't come out to win.
But you represented well, and only one team, and I tell this to everybody, can hold the trophy at the end. And I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. What do you take from this year and the great run? Because it was a historic run. The final game came down to really the final, minute and a half, 2 minutes of the game, and what it hinged on. But, no need to hang your head. But what do you take, Coach, from the season?
Well, you take a deeper appreciation that I, as a head coach, have had the opportunity to coach, a group of talented young men that, did everything we asked them to do and believed in us as coaches and worked as hard as they possibly can. And, they did come up a couple points short, but, in the long run, what you take out of it is the great experience that it was, and even a deeper appreciation of being a high school basketball coach, knowing how difficult it is to get to that point. There's over 800 high schools that belong to the OHSAA, and we can make a legitimate claim that we're second out of those. And we didn't get the gold trophy, but we're certainly proud of what these young men accomplished.
Nigel, you're going to be back next year, so you expect another good year from your team. But now that it's been a week and you've kind of thought about it, what do you take away from this year?
I know that being down there, we know what it took and how hard it was for us to get there. So us having that knowledge over, say, some other teams that haven't made it this far, that's a leg up when it comes to playoff time again. So when we get down there, we'll know what to expect, and we also have that feeling of walking off the court without the gold medal and the gold trophy, and that'd be more motivation for us next year.
Coached a lot of very good players. Where does Nigel rank?
He's right up there with the absolute best of them, and the best thing about that is he's got the script of his senior season to write yet, but he's got a very high skill set, and the thing I like about Nigel is that he understands what his weaknesses are, and he's gonna attack them with everything he has. He's already done that, and he's going to continue to do that until a year from now when he retires as a Whitmer Panther and heads off to greener pastures. But he's a great role model for our younger kids and even for the kids in his own age, because I told him a long time ago the best player has to be the first guy in the gym, hardest worker, and the last guy to leave the gym. And he's bought into that, and it's really helped.
Congratulations, guys. Best of luck next year, and have a great summer.
Thank you.
Thank you.